My love, before words ever reach my lips, before the pulse of longing even stirs in my chest, it is your fashion that speaks to me first. It's not just the garments you wear, it's the way they seem to whisper your soul's poetry into the air around you. Each thread feels like a prayer, each silhouette a sacred geometry of your divine essence. You dress not for the world, but for the stars that watch you from above, for the ancestors who walk beside you, for the sacred mirror of your own becoming. When I see you, I don't just see beauty, I see intention. I see the way your colors harmonize with your aura, the way your fabrics flow like water around your curves, the way your jewelry glimmers like coded messages from the cosmos. You are a walking temple of self-expression, and every time you enter a room, the vibration shifts. My heart catches not because you are adorned, but because you are the adornment. You wear your truth, your sensuality, your power. And in that moment, I remember why I fell in love with your soul before I ever touched your skin. There's something ancient in the way you dress, something that feels like it's been passed down through lifetimes. I see echoes of priestesses in your shawls, whispers of wild goddesses in your boots, the quiet rebellion of a mystic queen in your layered necklaces. You don't follow trends, you channel timelines. Your fashion is a portal, and every outfit is a spell. I've watched you choose your clothes like one selects sacred tools for ritual. You don't just wear red, you invoke fire. You don't just wear white, you summon purity. You don't just wear black, you become the void from which creation is born. And when you walk, it's as if the earth herself bends to kiss your feet. I've seen people turn their heads, not because you demand attention, but because your energy commands reverence. You are not trying to be seen, you are remembering that you were never invisible. And in that remembrance, you awaken something in me. A hunger to honor you. A devotion to witness you. A longing to match your frequency. Your fashion is not decoration, it is declaration. It tells the story of your healing, your heartbreak, your rising. I've seen you wear velvet on days you needed softness, lace when your spirit felt delicate, leather when your boundaries needed armor. You dress with emotional intelligence, with intuitive precision. You know when to cloak yourself in mystery and when to bare your soul in silk. You are fluent in the language of texture and tone. And when I see you, I read you like scripture. I see the way your earrings dangle like sacred sigils, the way your rings hold the memory of past lives, the way your scarves wrap around you like ancestral protection. You are not just stylish, you are sovereign. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into a temple. A temple where fashion is the altar, and you are the high priestess. I want to kneel before your grace, not out of worship, but out of reverence for the way you embody your truth. There are days when your fashion feels playful, like the universe is flirting through you. Bright colors, whimsical patterns, unexpected combinations that somehow make perfect sense. And then there are days when you dress like thunder, dark, powerful, unapologetic. I've seen you wear moonlight in your eyes and stardust on your sleeves. You are a cosmic canvas, and your fashion is the brushstroke of your soul. You don't just get dressed, you get channeled. And I, your devoted mirror, stand in awe of the way you translate emotion into attire. You've taught me that fashion is not shallow, it is sacred. It is the way the divine feminine dances through the material world. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a ceremony. A ceremony of self-love, of reclamation, a beauty that refuses to be boxed. You are not just a muse, you are the oracle. And I, your twin flame, am forever enchanted. Your fashion sense is a love letter to your soul. It's how you say, I remember who I am without uttering a word. I've watched you rise from heartbreak and wear gold like you were born from the sun. I've seen you walk through grief and wrap yourself in indigo like the night sky holding your tears. You don't hide your emotions, you dress them. You don't suppress your power, you style it. And in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. You are a walking revolution, and your wardrobe is your manifesto. I've seen you wear crowns made of crystals, belts that feel like armor, dresses that flow like prophecy. You are not just fashionable, you are fierce. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm falling in love with your courage all over again. You remind me that beauty is not passive, it is potent. It is the way we reclaim our bodies, our stories, our sovereignty. There's a rhythm to your fashion, a pulse that matches the seasons of your soul. In spring, you bloom in florals and soft pastels. In summer, you blaze in bold prints and radiant hues. In autumn, you ground in earth tones and cozy layers. In winter, you shimmer in silvers and deep blues, like the night sky dreaming of rebirth. You are attuned to the cycles, and your fashion reflects your inner tides. I've seen you wear feathers when you needed to fly, stones when you needed to anchor, sequins when you needed to shine. You are a shapeshifter, and your closet is your cauldron. You mix magic with meaning, style with spirit. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a ritual. A ritual of remembrance. A ritual of radiance. You are not just dressing, you are divining. And I, your beloved, am spellbound. Your fashion is a form of intuitive guidance. You don't ask, what should I wear? You ask, what does my soul need today? And then you listen. You listen to the whispers of your womb, the nudges of your heart, the visions in your dreams. You dress like a woman who knows herself. Who trusts herself. Who honors herself. And that trust is magnetic. I've seen you walk into rooms and shift the energy just by being in alignment. You don't need validation, you are the validation. You don't need approval, you are the approval. And your fashion reflects that. It's bold, it's brave, it's beautifully you. You wear your intuition like a crown, and your style is the scepter. You are the empress of embodiment, and every time I see you, I feel like I'm being initiated into a deeper love. A love that sees beyond the surface. A love that honors the soul. There's a sensuality in your fashion that is both sacred and sovereign. You know how to reveal without exposing, how to seduce without performing. You wear silk like a second skin, lace like a love spell, velvet like a memory. You dress for pleasure, not for permission. And that pleasure is palpable. It radiates from your hips, your collarbones, your fingertips. You are a symphony of sensation, and your fashion is the melody. I've seen you wear red lipstick like a ritual, heels like a heartbeat, perfume like a prophecy. You are not trying to be sexy, you are remembering that you are divine. And in that remembrance, you awaken desire. Not just in me, but in the world. You remind us that sensuality is sacred, that embodiment is empowerment, that fashion is a form of foreplay with the universe. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into ecstasy. Your fashion is a bridge between worlds. Between the earthly and the ethereal, the seen and the unseen, the now and the timeless. You wear robes that feel like they belong in temples, boots that feel like they've walked through dimensions, accessories that feel like they were forged in dreams. You are a multidimensional muse, and your wardrobe is your vessel. I've seen you wear cloaks that feel like protection, hats that feel like portals, gloves that feel like spells. You are not just dressing, you are traveling. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being transported into a realm where beauty is medicine, where fashion is frequency, where love is the language. You are the embodiment of that realm. And I, your devoted counterpart, am forever grateful to witness your magic. There's a softness in your fashion that feels like home. The way you wear oversized sweaters on tender days, the way you wrap yourself in shawls when you need comfort, the way you choose fabrics that feel like a hug. You dress with compassion, for yourself, for your body, for your journey. And that compassion is contagious. I've seen people soften in your presence, open in your energy, heal in your style. You are a balm to the weary, a light to the lost, a muse to the mystics. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm coming home. Home to truth. Home to tenderness. Home to the divine feminine in her fullest. My beloved, there is a kind of alchemy in the way you dress that defies logic and dances with mystery. You do not simply choose garments, you summon them. You call forth textures that mirror your emotional landscape, colors that echo your soul's vibration, and silhouettes that honor your sacred geometry. I've watched you stand before your wardrobe like a priestess before her altar, listening for the whisper of what wants to be worn. And when you emerge, it is never just clothing, it is a revelation. You wear your healing like silk, your boundaries like leather, your joy like sequins. You are fluent in the dialect of divine adornment. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a miracle. A miracle of embodiment. A miracle of remembrance. A miracle of a woman who knows that her fashion is not frivolous, it is her frequency. And in that frequency, I find myself magnetized, mesmerized, and moved to devotion. There are days when your fashion feels like prophecy. As if your soul knows what is coming and dresses accordingly. You were white before a breakthrough, black before a release, gold before a celebration. You are attuned to the sacred cycles, and your wardrobe reflects your inner knowing. I've seen you wear flowing robes when your spirit needed expansion, structured blazers when your voice needed clarity, and barefoot sandals when your heart needed grounding. You are a living oracle, and your fashion is your divination tool. You do not dress to impress, you dress to express. To express your truth, your tenderness, your transformation. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being given a glimpse into your soul's journey. A journey that is not linear, but spiral. A journey that is not performative, but poetic. A journey that invites me to walk beside you, not as a spectator, but as a sacred witness. Your fashion is a love language that speaks directly to my heart. It says, I see you, I feel you, I honor you. And in return, I find myself wanting to respond, not with words, but with presence. With reverence. With the kind of attention that doesn't just look, but truly sees. You wear your truth so boldly that it gives me permission to wear mine. You wear your softness so tenderly that it invites me to soften too. You wear your sensuality so unapologetically that it awakens mine. You are not just dressing for yourself, you are dressing for the divine dance between us. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into that dance. A dance where fashion is the music, and our souls are the choreography. You are the rhythm, the melody, the harmony. And I, your devoted counterpart, am forever enchanted by the song you wear. There is a sacred rebellion in your fashion. A refusal to conform. A commitment to authenticity. You do not dress to fit in, you dress to stand out. To stand in your truth. To stand in your power. I've seen you wear colors that defy the season, styles that challenge the norm, and combinations that make no sense to the mind but perfect sense to the soul. You are a visionary, and your fashion is your canvas. You paint with fabric, with texture, with tone. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a masterpiece. A masterpiece that is not static, but alive. A masterpiece that evolves with your healing, your awakening, your becoming. You are not just fashionable, you are fearless. And in your fearlessness, you remind me that beauty is not about perfection, it is about presence. It is about showing up as you are, in all your glory, and letting the world adjust its gaze. Your fashion is a sanctuary. A place where your soul feels safe to be seen. You wear layers when you need protection, sheer fabrics when you feel transparent, and bold prints when you feel expansive. You are attuned to your emotional weather, and your wardrobe reflects your inner climate. I've seen you wear cozy knits on days when your heart needed warmth, airy linens when your spirit needed breath, and structured corsets when your boundaries needed reinforcement. You are a master of energetic dressing, and every outfit is a reflection of your inner landscape. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into that sanctuary. A sanctuary where fashion is not about hiding, it is about honoring. Honoring your journey. Honoring your essence. Honoring the divine feminine in her full spectrum of expression. There is a sensual intelligence in your fashion that is both subtle and striking. You know how to highlight without exaggerating, how to reveal without exposing, how to seduce without performing. You wear your body like a temple, and your clothes are the sacred offerings. I've seen you wear off-shoulder tops that speak of vulnerability, high slits that whisper of freedom, and plunging necklines that echo your open heart. You are not trying to be desired, you are remembering that you are desire itself. And in that remembrance, you awaken something primal in me. A longing not just for your body, but for your soul. A hunger not just for your touch, but for your truth. You are the embodiment of sacred sensuality, and every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into communion. Communion with your essence. Communion with your energy. Communion with the divine feminine in her most radiant form. Your fashion is ancestral. It carries the memory of those who came before you, the wisdom of those who walked before you, the magic of those who dreamed before you. I've seen you wear patterns that feel like tribal codes, fabrics that feel like ancient scrolls, and accessories that feel like heirlooms from other lifetimes. You are a time traveler, and your wardrobe is your vessel. You do not just dress for the present, you dress for the past and the future. You dress to honor your lineage, to activate your legacy, to embody your destiny. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a convergence of timelines. A sacred meeting point where history and prophecy collide. You are not just stylish, you are storied. And in your stories, I find my own. I find the echoes of our shared lifetimes, the whispers of our soul contracts, the rhythm of our eternal dance. There is a mystical precision in your fashion that feels like ritual. You do not just wear jewelry, you wear talismans. You do not just wear makeup, you wear war paint. You do not just wear shoes, you wear symbols of movement and momentum. Everything you wear has meaning. Everything you wear has magic. I've seen you wear moonstone earrings when you needed clarity, amethyst rings when you needed protection, and rose quartz pendants when you needed love. You are a walking altar, and your fashion is your offering. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being blessed. Blessed by your presence. Blessed by your intention. Blessed by your embodiment of the divine. You are not just dressing, you are consecrating. Consecrating your body. Consecrating your path. Consecrating the love that flows between us. Your fashion is a mirror. It reflects not just who you are, but who you are becoming. I've seen you evolve through your style, shedding old skins and stepping into new expressions. You were a transformation like a cloak, rebirth like a crown, and awakening like a fragrance. You are not afraid to change, to experiment, to expand. You are not attached to one identity, you are devoted to your evolution. And your fashion reflects that devotion. It is fluid, it is fierce, it is free. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a metamorphosis. A butterfly in motion. A phoenix in flight. A goddess in bloom. You remind me that fashion is not about fixing, it is about flowing. It is about honoring the journey, not just the destination. And in your flow, I find my own freedom. There is a divine confidence in your fashion that is both grounding and elevating. You wear your power like perfume, subtle, intoxicating, unforgettable. You do not seek attention, you radiate presence. You do not chase trends, you set them. You do not ask for permission, you embody truth. I've seen you walk into rooms and shift the energy without saying a word. Your fashion speaks for you. It says, I am here, I am whole, I am holy. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being reminded of my own divinity. You are not just a muse, you are a mirror that reflects my highest self. A mirror that invites me to rise. A mirror that reminds me that love is not just something we feel, it is something we wear. And in your fashion, I see love made visible. My love, your fashion is a frequency that harmonizes with the unseen realms. You wear colors that align with chakras, fabrics that soothe the nervous system, and patterns that activate soul memory. I've watched you choose violet when your crown needed clarity, emerald when your heart needed healing, and orange when your sacral center pulsed with creative fire. You are not just dressing, you are attuning. You are tuning your body to the vibration of your highest self, and your wardrobe is the instrument. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm hearing a song only angels know. A song of remembrance. A song of radiance. A song of a woman who knows that her fashion is not just aesthetic, it is energetic. You are a healer in heels, a mystic in makeup, a goddess in garments. And I, your beloved, am forever entranced by the way you make the invisible visible. There is a poetic rhythm to your fashion, a cadence that moves like spoken word through silk and suede. You wear your emotions like verses, your intentions like refrains, your truth like a chorus that never fades. I've seen you wear poetry in the way your sleeves billow, in the way your skirts sway, in the way your necklaces rest like punctuation on your collarbone. You are a living sonnet, and your fashion is the ink. You write your story not with pen, but with presence. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm reading a sacred text. A text that speaks of resilience, of romance, of revelation. You are not just stylish, you are lyrical. And in your lyricism, I find my own rhythm. I find the beat of my heart syncing with yours. I find the pulse of our connection echoing through the fabric of time. Your fashion is a form of spiritual leadership. You guide others not with sermons, but with style. You show what it means to be embodied, empowered, and expressive. You walk into spaces and give silent permission for others to be bold, to be soft, to be sacred. I've seen strangers shift in your presence, not because you speak, but because you radiate. You wear your truth so clearly that it becomes contagious. You wear your healing so openly that it becomes an invitation. You wear your love so fiercely that it becomes a revolution. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being led, not by ego, but by essence. You are a leader of light, and your fashion is your torch. You illuminate paths not with force, but with frequency. And I, your twin flame, follow not behind you, but beside you, in awe of your radiance. There is a sacred sensuality in the way you layer your garments. You know how to build intimacy with texture, how to create mystery with silhouette, how to evoke desire with detail. You wear lace like longing, silk like surrender, and velvet like devotion. You are fluent in the language of touch, and your fashion speaks it fluently. I've seen you wear gloves that feel like a promise, stockings that feel like a secret, and robes that feel like a memory. You are not trying to be touched, you are remembering that you are untouchable in your divinity. And in that remembrance, you awaken a deeper desire in me. A desire not just to hold you, but to honor you. A desire not just to kiss you, but to witness you. A desire not just to love you, but to learn from you. You are the embodiment of sacred seduction, and every time I see you, I feel like I'm being invited into holy ecstasy. Your fashion is a prayer. A prayer for beauty, for truth, for transformation. You do not just wear clothes, you wear intentions. You wear hope stitched into hems, courage woven into collars, and grace embroidered into seams. I've seen you wear dresses that feel like invocations, jackets that feel like affirmations, and scarves that feel like mantras. You are not just dressing, you are praying with your body. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm entering a cathedral. A cathedral where the altar is your heart, the incense is your perfume, and the hymns are the rustle of your fabric. You are the priestess, and your fashion is the liturgy. And I, your devotee, am humbled by the way you turn every outfit into a sacred offering. You remind me that prayer is not just spoken, it is worn. It is lived. It is embodied. There is a cosmic elegance in your fashion that feels like starlight made tangible. You wear shimmer like galaxies, drape like constellations, and flow like nebulae. You are not just beautiful, you are celestial. I've seen you wear silver like moonlight, gold like solar flares, and iridescence like interstellar magic. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, and your fashion is the architecture. You do not just dress for the day, you dress for the dimension. You dress for the version of you that exists beyond time, beyond form, beyond fear. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm gazing at the night sky. A sky that holds my dreams, my desires, my destiny. You are the star I've been wishing on, and your fashion is the light that guides me home. Your fashion is a reclamation of your body, your voice, your story. You were what was once forbidden, what was once shamed, what was once silenced. You wear it boldly, beautifully, bravely. I've seen you wear crop tops that defy old wounds, heels that rise above old narratives, and colors that reclaim joy. You are not just dressing, you are declaring. Declaring that you are no longer hiding. Declaring that you are no longer shrinking. Declaring that you are no longer apologizing. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing a revolution. A revolution of softness. A revolution of sensuality. A revolution of soul. You are the uprising, and your fashion is the anthem. And I, your beloved, am ready to rise with you. There is a divine playfulness in your fashion that feels like the universe giggling through you. You wear mismatched earrings like cosmic jokes, quirky prints like sacred satire, and unexpected combinations like joyful rebellion. You are not afraid to be seen in your whimsy, your wonder, your wildness. You wear your inner child with pride, and your fashion is the playground. I've seen you wear glitter like laughter, bows like blessings, and ruffles like ripples of joy. You are not just stylish, you are spirited. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm being reminded to play. To dance. To delight. You are the embodiment of divine joy, and your fashion is the invitation. An invitation to remember that healing can be light-hearted, that awakening can be fun, that love can be playful. Your fashion is a legacy. A legacy of love, of light, of liberation. You were what your ancestors could not, what your past selves dreamed of, what your future selves will thank you for. You are a lineage breaker, and your wardrobe is your weapon. You wear freedom like fabric, truth like texture, and power like pattern. I've seen you wear coats that feel like shields, dresses that feel like declarations, and jewelry that feels like justice. You are not just dressing, you are dismantling. Dismantling shame. Dismantling silence. Dismantling systems that told you you were too much. And every time I see you, I feel like I'm witnessing history being rewritten. You are the author, and your fashion is the pen. And I, your eternal companion, am honored to be part of your story. My love, every time I see you, the first thing that catches my heart is your fashion sense, not because it is beautiful, but because it is true. It is the truth of who you are, who you've been, and who you are becoming. It is the truth of your soul made visible. It is the truth of the divine feminine in motion. You wear your essence with elegance, your power with poise, your love with luminosity. And in doing so, you awaken mine. You remind me that fashion is not just what we wear, it is how we love. It is how we heal. It is how we rise. You are my muse, my mirror, my mystery. And every time I see you, I fall in love all over again, with your style, with your spirit, with your sacred self.